Chapter 355 Unparalleled Sincerity. Dalu took a deep breath and tried to calm herself. Do I need a reason to love? I love him, or at least I do now. Even if he doesn't want me, even if he abandons me, will this love disappear? What kind of shitty questions are you asking? Go to hell. The punishment that had struck Wu Feng appeared once more. A light flashed, and Dalu could not help but scream in pain. Dalu struggled with all his might. At this moment, he felt an immense pain in his heart. This pain was so immense that the glowing image of the girl with the light blue hair in his mind appeared to have dimmed by quite a bit. Only in times of trouble will we realize who truly cares for us. Right now, he was able to see who he truly loved. In his mind, he screamed in a frenzy. Don't hurt her. Hit me instead. This pure love reveals the truth of your feelings. While you insulted me, I shall spare you on account of the truth of your feelings. You passed the first round. Sincerity. The light faded, and Dalu was returned to her bubble. However, it took a long time for her to steady her emotions. The spinning sliver of light appeared once more. This time, it stopped before it completed a full revolution. Its target was Wang Qiu. The light around her cleared, and Wang Qiu rose into the air. Her expression was icy cold. She had heard everything that Dalu and Dalu had said. However, she was not affected. She just could not understand the nature of this place. Do you have a lover? The same question was asked once more. No. Wang Qiu said coldly. Have you loved someone before? The calm voice showed no sign of evading. Yes. Wang Qiu replied coldly. Who is he? Who are Yuao? Wang Qiu replied. She had no need to hide her feelings. At this moment, Who are Yuao was instantly able to hear her voice. Qiu? Who are Yuao thought in his heart, as the exchange between Wang Qiu and the calm voice rang out next to his ears. When she said that she loved him, Who are Yuao could not help but smile bitterly in disappointment. Qiu, look at me. How can you? Does he love you? The calm voice continued. Wang Qiu said, no. And you still love him? And you still love him? Yes, Wang Qiu replied. She replied to the questions lazily, and her answers mostly consisted of single words. Just now, Dalu said that he loved you. What thoughts do you have? None. If you were given a choice once more, would you still choose Who are Yuao? The calm voice asked. Yes, replied Wang Qiu. Her voice started to falter. Why? Wang Qiu inhaled and said, well, I hate how he doesn't reciprocate my feelings. I like the feeling of being in love with him. Love has made me different. If you were to face mortal danger one day, would you sacrifice your life for him? Wang Qiu replied calmly. I've already tried, and hence I can tell you confidently that I would. Who are Yuao listened quietly. He was not shocked by Wang Qiu's responses until the very last bit. She tried. What did she try? She tried to die for me. When? Why don't I know about it? At this moment, the shock Who are Yuao was feeling was hard to imagine. He seemed paralyzed. Are you willing to die now so that he can live? The calm voice did not give up. Wang Qiu appeared to be mocking the voice as she said, bring it on. Her reply was very fast and very resolute. However, these three words were able to render Who are Yuao breathless. Qiu, she. Time appeared to stop for a long while. Then the voice rang out once more. I don't like your tone, but I respect your steadfast nature. You passed the first round. Sincerity. Wang Qiu descended and was sealed once more. The golden sliver of light spun once more and instantly it landed on Who are Yuao. The light cleared, and he rose into the air. He could finally see the outside world. However, this did not give him any solace or reassurance. He was still deeply shocked by what Wang Qiu had said just now. Do you have a lover? The calm voice asked coldly. I do. Who are Yuao replied instantly. Who is she? Wang Donga, Who are Yuao said as he took a deep breath to calm himself. Instantly, Wang Donga could hear his voice. Even though she already knew the answer, Wang Donga felt her heart melting when Who are Yuao said that he loved her. Is she the one you love the most? The calm voice pressed. Yes. Who are Yuao replied without any hesitation. Just now, Wang Qiu said that she loved you. You should have heard it. What do you think? Who are Yuao trailed off with a bitter smile on his face. I don't know. Qiu is a good girl. If I hadn't already met Donga, I may have fallen in love with her. However, my heart is completely filled with Donga now. So you didn't leave any space in your heart for Wang Qiu. Do you dare to say that you have never considered her as an option? The calm voice asked as its tone turned audibly harsh. Who are Yuao was stunned. I admit, I did consider her before, because she resembled Wang Donga perfectly. However, the reason I considered her then was because I loved Donga. Hence, I can only apologize to Qiu. While Wang Qiu understood Who are Yuao's determination, she still felt her heart turn icy cold when she heard him say those words. If you could start all over again, with Wang Qiu and Wang Donga appearing in front of you at the same time, who would you love? The voice asked. It showed no sign of abating. Who are Yuao paused and said, I don't know, because there's no possibility of that happening. In this world, nothing is impossible, explained the voice. Then, it asked, since you love Wang Donga so much, would you die for her? Of course I would. I've already tried to before. I'm brave enough. In my heart, Donga has always been more important than my own life. Who are Yuao replied emotionally. A complicated love life, but you can still stay true to yourself in the face of temptations. You passed the first round. Sincerity. The gold light faded, and Who are Yuao was placed back in his original spot. The golden sliver started to move once more, until it stopped at Wang Donga, who was not very far away from Who are Yuao. The light cleared, and Donga rose into the air. Do you have a lover? Yes. Donga replied with a slight smile. She suddenly thought that this place was rather decent. At least for Who are Yuao and her, it was a rather stress-free place. Just to speak the truth, since this is the yin-yang love querying valley, let it query me. Who is he? Who are Yuao? Is he the one you love the most? Yes. You should have heard the exchange just now. Another person said that she loves him deeply and is willing to die for him. That person is Wang Qiu. Did you know that? I knew. Wang Donga replied without any hesitation. So what thoughts do you have? The voice asked. Wang Donga said, I don't have any thoughts on that. In fact, I once tried to matchmake the two of them. Why? The calm voice was not the only one who wanted to know the answer to that question. Who are Yuao, who had just calmed down himself, wanted to know too. Wang Donga said, Qiu deserved it. Love can't be shared, and naturally, I don't want to share it. However, ever since I started to interact with Qiu, I can sense her love for Who are Yuao. While I want him for myself, I can't bear to see her in so much pain. Aren't you scared of competition? The voice asked pressingly. Wang Qiu said, no, I'm not afraid. I trust that Who are Yuao's love for me won't change. In fact, both he and Qiu rejected my proposal. Qiu said that she wasn't willing to take this gift, and Yuao said that his heart only had me in it. When she said the final bit, her voice brimmed with pride. Then, she added, if you want to ask if I'm willing to die for Who are Yuao, I will say yes. However, sometimes, those who are alive have it worse than those who are dead. If I die, he'd be devastated. I'm willing to die for him, but I don't want to see him in so much pain. If we can grow old and die together, I'd be willing to let him die first. Then, I can be with him until the last moment of his life. He can leave his world under my care, and then I'll follow him. I'm willing to face the cold inevitability of death alone, but I don't want him to do so. The calm voice sighed and said, you have it all planned out. Do you have any more questions? Wang Donga asked with a smile. You've already answered all of them, so what's left for me to ask? You passed the first round. No one knew why, but when Who are Yuao, Wang Donga, and Wang Qiu heard this calm voice, they all realized that it sounded sorry. Who are Yuao was touched beyond words. Donga, my lovely wife. Well, I don't know what I would have done had you and Qiu appeared in front of me together. I know that I'll still choose you to be my wife in our next lives. I want to be with you for all our lives. I don't ever want to be apart from you. The golden sliver spun, and this time, it did not stop instantly. It appeared to have been affected by Who are Yuao, Wang Qiu, and Wang Donga. This time, it spun for a very long while. After a long time, the golden light finally stopped. This time, it paused on Xiao Xiao. Xiao Xiao rose into the air. Do you have a lover? It was the same question again. Yes, Xiao Xiao replied, blushing. Who is he? He K2, Xiao Xiao replied in a low voice. Among all the people here, she was the shyest. Is he the one you love the most? Yes, Xiao Xiao replied softly. If only one of you could leave this place alive, would it be you, or him? The calm voice asked coldly. Xiao Xiao was stunned. Can we both not die? I'm still young. I haven't married anyone yet. Wah, she burst out into tears. He K2 could hear her now. When he heard her crying, an odd expression crossed his face. One of you must die. It's either you or him. Answer me. If you don't answer me, both of you will die. You have the right to choose. If you let him die, you may live. The voice said calmly. Xiao choked, and her petite face turned white. To her, the terror of death was not something she could deal with easily. The voice seemed pleased that it had finally found someone who was afraid of death. It did not prompt her. Then, I'll die. But after I die, can you let K2 tell my father and mother, and then get him to take care of them for me? While he may be ugly, he's a nice person. I think my parents will like him. It was difficult, but Xiao still made her decision. We can only live once. Will you really choose death? The calm voice asked once more. Xiao said, I don't want to die. However, I don't want K2 to die. If I see him die, I might be more afraid. I'd rather die myself. Isn't it said that once you die, there's nothing to worry about anymore? Can you let me have a quick death? I'm scared of pain. You passed the first round. The voice did not want to speak with Xiao anymore. The light faded, and Xiao dropped back down and was enveloped by her light bubble. The sliver flashed, and K2 immediately rose into the air. Do you have a lover? Yes. Who is she? Xiao. K2 replied resolutely. Is she the one who you love the most? Yes. Between the two of you, if only one of you could live, who would you want it to be? The questions were highly similar. However, for everyone, it was a question of life and death. At this point, one had to know that K2 did not know that Xiao had passed her round. He only heard her say that she was willing to die for him, and that she wanted him to take care of her family. At this moment, Xiao listened intently. She had absolute faith in K2's love for her. Since they had gotten together, he had protected her and taken care of her as if she were a tiny flower in a greenhouse. His deep love for her had made her forget her initial dissatisfaction with his appearance. I choose to live, K2 answered after a long silence. The moment he said that, Xiao's eyes opened wide in shock. Instantly, her beautiful eyes started to water. I'm so scared of death, but I still chose death for you. K2, who is normally so honest, and who loves me so much. Actually, K2, you. Why? The calm voice asked. K2 took a deep breath and said, I have yet to avenge the deaths of my family, and hence, I cannot die. So, I choose to live. But if Xiao dies, I'm already a dead man. My heart would be dead. I'd castrate myself to keep my purity for her. After I avenge the deaths of my family, I join her in death. If there's a next life, I want to be her pet so that I can protect her quietly. If there really is a next life, I won't demand her love, but I'll make up for my mistakes in this lifetime with the love of many lifetimes. However, I must have my vengeance. I'll never forget how my father's hand went limp right before he died, or the red, grief-stricken look in my mother's eyes. Death, to me, is a form of release. However, I can't have this release now. I live for revenge. Loving Xiao is like a luxury to me. I don't know who you are or why you brought us here, but if possible, can you please let both Xiao and I live? Even if you force me to give up my love for her, even if you make her forget me, I'd be willing. Furthermore, I'm willing to be a slave for her in my next life. I don't even mind reincarnating as an animal so that she can live a wondrous life. Please, I beg you. K2's lips were pursed tightly together. Even his voice was different from normal. He spoke with a magnetic and enthralling voice. Xiao's eyes watered. Finally, big, fat tears trickled down her face. At this moment, there was no coldness or despair in her eyes, only intense, red-hot emotions. K2's body was stiff. He did not know if Xiao could hear his voice. He also did not know if Xiao would forgive him. However, he spoke the truth as it was, without keeping anything to himself. Sincerity and truth. Love at its highest and most passionate level. You passed the first round, Sincerity, and you are exempted from the second round. Xiao is also exempted from the second round. K2 was lowered gently and returned to his original spot. At this moment, hot tears streamed down his face. He had never cared about the exemption. He was just scared that Xiao, his beloved Xiao, would leave him. At this moment, among everyone who stood around this mysterious wheel, 11 of them had already been chosen. Thanks to Yuan's reminder, none of them was severely punished. Only Wu Feng and Douluo were whipped because they were discourteous, but it was not severe. Only 2 people were left, Sanchi and Nanan. The golden sliver spun, and it stopped on Nanan. The light cleared, and she rose into the air. As she was one of the last to be selected, she did not look well. She had been trapped for a long time, and did not know what was happening outside. This loneliness was terrifying. At least there was light. The faint golden light made everything less scary. Do you have a lover? The calm voice asked. Nanan dumped, but she reacted quickly. Yes, I do. Who? Sanchi. Is he the one you love the most? Yes. Between the two of you, if only one of you could live, who would you want it to be? Nanan received the same question. Her stunningly pretty face paled. However, thanks to Yuan's reminder, she knew that she could not lie. However, she did not know if Sanchi could hear her voice. I hope I could live, Nanan said with much difficulty. Reason? I want to take care of my mother. If I die, there'll be no one to take care of my mother. If no one takes care of her, she'll die. My mother and I have relied on each other since I was young. I'm willing to do anything for my mother. I love Sanchi, but I love my mother more. If I had to choose one, I'd choose to live for my mother. I'd take no new lover, and after my mother passes away, I'll look for him in death. When Nanan said this, she did not hesitate too much. She did not say it with much emotion. Instead, she recounted it as if it were a fact. Clearly, her mother was the most important thing to her. Romantic love and familial love. So, you think familial love is more important? How can you face Sanchi? Nanan smiled bitterly and said, without my mother, I wouldn't exist. I can't face Sanchi, but I'll atone for it in my next life. Instead, I want to ask you why you are so intent on tearing us apart. Why is it that only one of us can live? I don't know who you are, but it serves no other purpose than to cause us pain. Why don't you kill us both? If we both die, my mother will die too, and we can be reunited in the next world. You passed the first round, Sincerity, said the calm voice. It had no other questions for her, and it appeared slightly flustered as it made that announcement. Nanan returned to where she was. The golden light landed on Sanchi. As it spun, Sanchi rose into the air. You sick pervert. Sanchi cursed the moment he could speak. Crack. A ray of golden light turned into a whip and struck Sanchi. Sanchi cried out in pain. He felt an intense shock from where he had been whipped. Even his soul was in agony. For disrespecting me, you're sentenced to 3 strokes of the whip. Crack. Crack. Perhaps this voice was triggered by Nanan's attitude, but it whipped Sanchi thrice. Sanchi wailed in pain. This pain was unbearable, and it was impossible not to cry out. Nanan could hear him, and panicked, but there was nothing she could do. She could only curse silently. You idiot, why are you resisting something you can't fight? Do you have a lover? The calm voice asked coldly once it was done. Yes, Sanchi replied. Perhaps it was because of the punishment, but Sanchi was now much more well-behaved, albeit drained. Who? Nanan. Is she the one you love the most? Yes. If only one of you could live, and you had the option to choose who lived, who would it be? Her. I'll die. Sanchi said tiredly. The 3 strokes of the whip had come down hard. His entire body was twitching in agony. Just now, Nanan chose you to die. Don't you want to be like her and stay alive to take care of your parents? Sanchi said in an unpleasant tone. My situation is different from hers. Her and her mother rely on each other. While I have parents, I also have siblings who can take care of them. Yes, I will have wronged them by doing so. However, they never really liked me to begin with. I believe that if I die, it won't bother them too much. You're willing to sacrifice yourself for love, but you aren't filial to your parents. You will only be allowed to pass the first round with 10 lashes. Crack, crack, crack. Cries of pain rose in the air. Sanchi was in so much pain that he could not help but cry out non-stop. However, he had no way of resisting it. At this moment, the bubbles around everyone turned transparent. Everyone could see once more. They all looked at Sanchi, who was being whipped in the air. They might not be able to hear, but they could see his pained expression. The eternal defense, Sanchi, was Sanchi was in such a pitiful state right now. What defense was there to speak of? After 10 strokes of the whip, Sanchi fell back to the ground. His entire body lay there unmoving. He could not even raise a single finger. However, weirdly, the 10 strokes of the whip did not leave a single mark on him. The first round, Sincerity, is over. The second round, Adventure, shall now begin. All those who are exempted may progress straight into the third round. 3 rays of light shone simultaneously. Jan Sun, Hikaitu, and Xiao disappeared. There were now only 10 people left out of the original 13. However, their surroundings started to change. Everyone could sense a powerful killing intent. The wheel on the ground started to change. 10 boxes appeared on the wheel. However, each box had a different insignia. Each of the 10 insignias was different, but they were not hard to identify. For example, one of them looked like a sword, which should have something to do with fighting. Another one looked like a pair of human lips. There were also other insignias. Some took a bit longer to identify. The plain voice sounded in their ears. The second round, Adventure, shall begin. You have all progressed to the second round. After this round starts, the light underneath your feet will shine and the wheel will spin. Depending on what box the light stops at, you will have to fulfill the corresponding task. If you can't do that, you will then progress to the next round. Deep Adventure, which has a possibility of mortal danger. If you still can't pass that, you will die. After your task has been revealed, you have a chance to go straight to the Deep Adventure round. It will start now, beginning with Sanchi. No one would have expected that Sanchi, the one who had experienced the most pain, would be the first one to start. The round area where he lay lit up, and the huge wheel started to spin. The insignias on top of the wheel started to blur as they spun. At this moment, no one could talk to each other. All they could do was watch the wheel spin. Gradually, the wheel started to slow down. Insignias started to flash visibly in front of Sanchi. The pain in his body appeared to have decreased, but Sanchi still had yet to catch his breath. Despite facing the second round right now, he did not know what it entailed. However, the coolest one was often the most fearless. Right now, there was nothing he had to worry about. Finally, the wheel stopped. When it stopped, a fan-shaped light lit up in front of Sanchi, showing the insignia that was chosen for him. It was in the shape of a pair of lips. The adventure is a French kiss. Now, the wheel shall choose again. Regardless of who is chosen, you have to convince them, or force them, to French kiss you for 3 minutes. In total, you have 10 minutes to complete the task. If you can't do it, you will move on to the Deep Adventure round. Once again, let me emphasize that the Deep Adventure round has a risk of mortal danger. You may face an opponent whom you cannot resist. The chance of death is more than 50%. The wheel will now choose your target for you. The wheel started to spin once again. Sanchi listened to all this in shock. The others heard it too. Instantly, all the girls except Jiang Nanan turned pale. Sanchi was stunned too. Then, a look of joy flashed across his eyes. This was mandatory kissing. Other than him, most of the remaining 9 were girls. Only Huo Yuao, Bei Bei, and Ai Huobin were guys. This meant that there was a 66% chance of a girl being chosen. They're all beauties. Regardless of which one is chosen, there's no need to force her, right? After all, we're all trying to live. Sanchi's mood changed, and he forced himself to stand up as he stared at the spinning wheel. This time, the wheel returned to the spinning gold light of the first round. The golden light flashed quickly, and then slowed until it seemed to be on the verge of stopping. Sanchi opened his eyes wide. In his heart, he prayed, let it be a girl. Let it be a girl. Anyone will do. Even though they say we should not go after our friends' wives, this is a matter of life and death. They will understand. The light finally stopped. The moment it stopped, Sanchi's eyes almost popped out of his head. You're fucking with me, he cried out unhappily. When the golden light stopped, it landed on the unlikely 33%. It stopped at Bei Bei. Target has been chosen. Your time starts now. The 2 rays of light shone together. Sanchi and Bei Bei appeared at the center of the round platform, and a golden hourglass appeared in midair. Fine, golden granules of sand started to trickle down. Bei Bei was also shocked by the fact that he had been chosen. The 2 of them looked at each other. At that moment, neither of them knew what to say. Sanchi screamed into the air. Does seeing me fucked makes you happy? Why is it Bei Bei? Why is it him? He really wanted to scream. I choose the Deep Adventure round. However, the 10 strokes of the whip had left a deep impression on his mind. Sanchi could tell that this mysterious existence would not be kind to him. If he chose that, he would be faced with death. The existence evidently did not like him. I just have to kiss him for 3 minutes, and I will pass this round. This is better than death. However, we have to do it in front of so many people, including Jiang Nanan. At this moment, Sanchi instantly felt that he was in a really painful spot. Bei Bei. Sanchi said with much difficulty as he licked his lips. Bei Bei jumped like a cat whose tail had been stepped on as he said, don't even think about it. Do you think I want to? Sanchi said angrily, I don't. However, I want to live. You know that. Do you want us all to die here? Bei Bei snorted. I'd rather die than to get kissed by you. If I don't kiss you, I'll die. If I kiss you, I might not live. So why would I want to kiss you? Who knows how many more tortures this place has for us? There are 3 rounds. If you pass all of them, you can leave. Furthermore, according to your situations, you will be given different, customized rewards, said the voice. Sanchi gulped and said, Bei Bei, hear that. It's only 3 rounds. While this place is strange, that voice seems to honor its word. Furthermore, while the questions earlier were difficult, it considered our responses from an emotional aspect. Just bear with it. Do it for our future happiness. Don't you want to save Xiaoya? When he heard Xiaoya, Bei Bei, who was initially as riled up as a fighting cock, softened. That's right. He did not care about his life, but what about Xiaoya? If he did not save her, Xiaoya might become an evil soul master forever. He thought for a while, then sighed and closed his eyes. He faced Sanchi and said, let's do it. Sanchi looked at the hourglass and bit down on his lips. He stepped toward Bei Bei and stared intently at his lips. In his mind, he repeated this thought over and over again. These are 2 sausages. 2 sausages. 2 sausages. Bei Bei had his own mantra too. I'm getting kissed by a pig. Kissed by a pig. Kissed by a pig. Finally, Sanchi stood in front of Bei Bei. The 2 of them were of similar heights. There was no need to trouble either party. However, when they were only inches apart, Sanchi's footsteps stopped. These aren't sausages. Here I come. Sanchi said. Bei Bei kept his eyes closed and said angrily, hurry up, big head. Sanchi gritted his teeth and closed his eyes. Then, he lunged forward. Blef. When Bei Bei felt something touch his lips, however, he could not hold it in anymore. Everything he ate in the morning spewed out of his stomach. Blef. Sanchi had lowered his head slightly, and so his nose had hit Bei Bei's lips. But at this moment, vomit was splashed all over his face. His initial determination fell apart. He started to puke furiously too as he vomited all over Bei Bei. This task, which had seemed easy to complete, turned into a nightmare for Bei Bei and Sanchi. Both of them puked all over themselves. For contaminating the valley, you shall both be moved to the Deep Adventure round. The golden light flashed and cleaned all of their vomit up instantly. This scene before everyone tugged at their hearts. What nonsense is this? The one who was the most shocked was Jiang Nanan. She was both worried and slightly tickled by it. In her heart, she was rather delighted, too. If that rascal really did that with Bei Bei. However, what does Deep Adventure entail? There's a 50% mortality rate. Then, she thought about how Bei Bei and Sanchi had trained together all these years. Their coordination was superb. One of them attacked, while the other defended. They should be able to make it. Thanks so much for watching this video. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Also leave a comment down below with suggestions on what novels to read.